The sun rises over a prehistoric savanna. Golden light spills across ancient grasslands. She stands alone, sensing danger in the silence. Wind moves through tall grass like a warning. Her hand tightens around a stone blade. This land belongs to predators. Footprints press deep into the soil nearby. Massive, fresh. She knows she is not alone. A distant roar rolls across the plains. Low, powerful, ancient. Her breath catches. She crouches behind a rock formation, eyes scanning the horizon. Survival demands patience. Movement flashes near the riverbed. A lion, young, wounded, exhausted. Blood darkens its fur. The lion collapses near the water, breathing shallow, body shaking. Death is close. She hesitates, fear gripping her chest. This predator could kill her easily, yet she steps closer. The lion growls weakly, baring teeth. Pain has stolen its strength. Their eyes meet. She lowers her weapon slowly, showing no threat, only resolve. Hyena calls echo in the distance. The lion tries to rise and fails. Time is running out. She moves between the lion and the open plain, becoming a shield, a dangerous choice. The hyenas draw closer, shadows circling. Hunger drives them. She grabs a burning branch from a nearby fire pit. Smoke rises into the air, a warning to scavengers. The hyenas hesitate, confused. Fire was not meant for this world. Fear works both ways. She kneels beside the lion cautiously, examining the wound. Deep, but not fatal. The lion watches her every move, muscles tense despite the pain. Trust is fragile. She tears cloth from her tunic, presses it against the bleeding. The lion roars in agony. She doesn't pull away, doesn't flinch, endures the sound. The bleeding slows, the lion's breathing steadies slightly. Life clings on. The hyenas retreat into the grass, not defeated, just waiting. The danger isn't over. She helps the lion into shade, using her body to support its weight. An impossible bond forms. The sun climbs higher, heat presses down. The land watches silently. The lion closes his eyes briefly, still alive, still powerful. She steps back slowly, giving space, respecting instinct. The lion opens his eyes again, no longer afraid, only alert. A low rumble leaves its throat, not a threat, a warning to others. She turns away, heart pounding, leaving it alive, not knowing what comes next. Behind her, the lion struggles upright, watching her retreat, memory burning into instinct. She disappears into the grasslands. The lion remains, alive because of her. The land never forgot her. Long after her footprints vanished from the grasslands, the savanna held the memory of what she had done. In a world ruled by teeth, claws, and hunger, mercy was an alien force. Yet that single act, standing between death and a wounded lion, had broken the oldest law of nature. Days passed, then weeks, then seasons. The girl returned to her hidden dwelling deep within the forest, a place carved by hand and survival instinct. Her shelter was not a home of comfort, but of readiness. Stone blades hung from wooden pegs, spears leaned against the walls, dried meat and animal skins were stored with care. Every tool had a story, every weapon had tasted blood. She believed the past was behind her. She was wrong. One afternoon, as the sun burned high and the cicadas screamed in the trees, the forest went silent. Not the peaceful silence of rest, but the sharp, unnatural stillness that precedes death. She felt it before she heard it. The ground trembled, slowly, deliberately. Her hand moved to her spear as she stepped outside. Leaves shook, birds exploded into the sky. Something massive was approaching. Then she saw him, the lion. Larger now, stronger, his mane thick and scarred, his body hardened by survival. The wound she had treated was gone, replaced by a twisted mark, a permanent reminder etched into flesh. For a moment, fear returned in full force. This was the creature she had spared. This was the creature that could end her life in seconds. He stopped just beyond the tree line. Their eyes met again, just as they had weeks before, when he lay bleeding and broken. The world held its breath. The lion did not charge, he did not roar. Instead, he lowered his head. Not submission, recognition. Something ancient passed between them, an understanding no language could carry. She did not raise her weapon. Slowly, cautiously, she stepped back, giving him space. That's when the forest erupted. A bear burst from the undergrowth, massive and enraged, drawn by scent and territory. Its roar split the air, the ground shook under its weight as it charged. There was no time to run. The girl moved on instinct, reaching for a spear, but she knew it would not be enough. The bear rose on its hind legs, towering above her, death looming in its claws. Then the lion moved, faster than thought, faster than fear. He struck the bear's side with explosive force, driving it away from her. The two beasts collided in a storm of fur, muscle, and fury. Claws tore flesh, teeth clashed, dust and blood filled the air. She watched, frozen, as nature turned savage. The lion fought not for territory, not for dominance, but for her. The bear swiped, catching the lion across the flank. He roared in pain, but did not retreat. With a final surge of power, the lion forced the bear back, driving it into the trees. After a brutal struggle, the bear fled, wounded and defeated. Silence returned, broken only by heavy breathing. The lion stood between her and the forest, blood dripping from fresh wounds. He turned his head slightly, checking on her without ever fully looking away from the trees. A guardian. The girl approached slowly, heart pounding, hands empty. She tore cloth again, just as she had before, pressing it against his bleeding. He did not resist. In that moment, something changed forever. From that day on, the savannah spoke of them in whispers of movement and shadow. Hunters disappeared, predators kept their distance. Where the girl walked, danger hesitated. She and the lion were seen together, sometimes near water, sometimes along the cliffs, sometimes standing against the sunrise like carved stone figures from another age. They did not belong together, and yet they did. But the land is cruel to those who defy its rules. One final test awaited. During a long drought, desperation drove predators closer to human shelters. Hyenas, wolves, another lion pride, threatened by the presence of the lone male. One night, under a moonless sky, they came. The girl woke to snarls and movement. Shapes circled her shelter. Dozens of eyes reflected faint starlight. Her weapons lay ready, but even she knew this was too much. Then a roar thundered across the plains. Her lion. He charged into the darkness, attacking without hesitation. The predators scattered, confused by the sheer force of his presence, but numbers turned against him. He fought fiercely, buying her time. She ran, not away, but toward him. Spear in hand, fire blazing, she entered the chaos. She struck where she could, distracted, screamed, burned, fought like something ancient and unstoppable. Together, they drove the attackers back. But when dawn came, victory tasted of ash. The lion lay in the dust, breathing slow and shallow. Too many wounds, too much blood. She knelt beside him, hands shaking, pressing against injuries she could not heal. The sun rose, painting the sky red. The lion looked at her one last time. No fear, no pain, only calm. As his breathing faded, the land seemed to bow. The wind softened, even the birds were silent. She stayed there long after life left his body. The girl buried him beneath a stone ridge overlooking the plains. She placed her spear beside the grave, not as a weapon, but as tribute. From that day forward, she walked alone again, but she was never the same. Where she went, people spoke of a woman protected by a lion's spirit. Predators avoided her path, courage followed her shadow. Millions of years later, the land still remembers. Not as myth, not as legend, but as proof that even in the most savage age, compassion could change the balance of nature, and that sometimes, when you save a monster, it saves you back.